They called it a whiteout, but it was more than that. It was silence so thick it pressed against your teeth. And in that silence, he disappeared. Hey there, today's story comes from the coldest place on Earth, where time moves slowly and footsteps vanish behind you. You're about to hear what happened to Walter Jensen, an electrician who walked out into the snow and became a ghost no one could explain. Walter was 60 quiet sharp, the kind of man who knew machines better than people. He'd worked 4 contracts at the polar station, knew the routine, knew the cold, knew the limits. That season, there were 22 people stationed at Base Aurora, just scientists, support crew. No one knew. Walter's job was to maintain power, keep the generators alive, keep the lights on, because if the power died, so did everyone inside. On February 3rd at 10:12 p.m., an alarm sounded. One of the external backup lines had dropped. Not critical, but worth checking. Walter suited up, told the guy at comms, back in 10. He stepped into the service corridor, opened the outer door, and walked into the storm. Visibility was less than 5 feet, winds over 60 miles an hour, but he'd handled worse. He clipped into the tether line, standard safety, followed the path to the generator shed. He never made it. 10 minutes passed, then 15. Comms called out, no reply. A rescue team was sent out in pairs, tethered GPS linked. They followed the safety line. Halfway down, they found his flashlight, still warm. But no Walter. The tether clip was broken, clean as if cut. The snow around it untouched. They searched for 6 hours, nothing. Next morning, clear skies. No footprints, no radio ping, no thermal trace. They found one glove frozen, standing upright in the snow, fingers pointing up. Inside the generator shed, there were no signs of entry, but something had moved. A wrench was on the ground, one that wasn't logged out, and in the frost on the window was a single fingerprint pressed from inside. But the shed was locked from the outside and the key was in Walter's pocket, or should have been, except his body was never recovered. The station went on lockdown, full internal review. One worker confessed that at 10:25 they saw something outside. Through the snow, a figure, standing perfectly still, 20 feet from the comms window. When they blinked, it was gone. Another claimed they heard tapping on the emergency airlock door, even though it was sealed. 3 nights later, a notebook appeared on the rec table. It belonged to Walter, but it hadn't been found before. The last page read, "There's something under the snow." The handwriting stopped mid-sentence. The page after that was ripped out. The base commander tried to report it, but satellite signal dropped for 2 hours. When it returned, the entry logs had been wiped. Walter's name was eventually marked MIA, presumed dead. His gear was sealed and later lost in transit. His wife never received his remains, just a sealed envelope with a formal apology and a list of personal effects blank. She kept emailing the station year after year, no replies. Until one winter, she received a postcard. No return address, just a photo of the base taken from outside during a storm. In the corner, a tiny shadow near the generator shed. She took it to the agency. They said it was fake, that the angle wasn't possible, but she knew that Walter had taken the same photo years ago. Now she lights a candle every February 3rd, leaves it near the window. She says, "The wind still knows his name. I just hope it hasn't forgotten his voice." The base is still active. New staff rotate in every year. But there's one thing they all agree on. When the wind shifts direction and the snow moves sideways, sometimes you hear something under it. Not a voice, not a howl, but a hum like power lines breathing. Thank you for being here today, for listening to Walter's story, for remembering the people who disappear in places where nothing is supposed to move. If this story stayed with you, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who still believes in light, even in the coldest places. We post true stories like this every day, stories of those who vanished and those who left something behind. Take care of yourself and those you love. May your power always stay on, your warmth never leave you, and your name never freeze in the middle of a sentence.